What's up, Met fans? Welcome back to Talking Mets and Rob. How is everybody doing? Before I get started talking about latest news on Correa, don't forget, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit on that like button. If you enjoy my content, want to see more, want to get notified when I post my videos and when I go live, you guys know what to do. Hit on that subscribe button, everybody. All right, guys. So we've heard there's been rumblings about Carlos Correa and the New York Mets very closely could be coming to a deal sometime this week, according to Ken Rosendahl and a couple of other tweets that I'll show you in just a second. It seems like everything is falling into place. Contract will be signed, and we should have a press conference hopefully this week, at the end of the week, or maybe even early next week. But all indications are there could be a deal with the Mets and Carlos Correa very, very soon. So, what is it that gets people so excited? Because now we have verified individuals such as Ken Rosendahl and others that have been bringing up articles and tweeting that they believe there's going to be a resolution with the Mets and Carlos Correa. And if you checked out yesterday, what Carlos Correa posted on his Instagram with his young son in a I Love New York shirt with a glove and, of course, batting gloves that were blue. A lot of people took that as he is coming to the Mets. He is signing, and he also had a caption that says, going to work. So it seems like a lot of people believe that Correa is flying to New York, ready to sign this deal, and very, very soon, Carlos Correa will be wearing the orange and blue and playing baseball at third base at Citi Field in Queens in 2023 and hopefully for many years to come. So where we get to why is this getting exciting for Met fans? Because this is what Ken Rosendahl said. According to Ken Rosendahl, we expect it to be a dramatically different deal. It isn't going to be the 12 years, $350 million that was agreed upon 2 weeks ago on December 21st at 2:30 in the morning. And this is exactly what people have been expecting, considering the fact that we also heard that Correa did not want to budge from that 12 years, $315 million. But the problem that is Correa's side going to have with Boris is the fact that even if he deads the deal with the Mets, why wouldn't another team want that type of protection for their team and want a smaller term deal? And if Carlos Correa really wants the Mets and the Mets really want Correa, they are going to work out a deal that is beneficial for Carlos Correa, probably with AAV. And I'll get into what type of contracts you can be seeing that is drastically different from the 12 years, $315 million that they agreed upon. But I think these type of deals that I'm going to show in just a second is going to be very similar to what you see when the deal becomes official. And I think the AAV is going to be exactly why Correa would sign a deal like this. And it will be obviously for yet less years than 12 years that were currently agreed upon. But also what Ken Rosendahl has said was that expect the Mets to get the deal done. Expects a resolution this week. Expects more subsequent moves from the Mets after, but mainly around the fringes of the roster, mainly the bench. So, of course, they got to add a 40-man spot. So there's going to be some movement on the 40-man. And also, the Mets need to solidify their bench, even though their lineup with Correa is looking like it's packed and ready to go for the 2023 season. The biggest plus for the Mets in 2022 was the depth they had on the bench, and the reason why we won 101 games was because the depth on the bench, and it hurt us in the second half of the year because the depth actually got hurt, and it hurt the team as a whole in the 2022 season, especially in the second half. And that's something that we just have to do again. The lineup could be great 1 through 9, but if you don't have the depth pieces on the bench to give guys days off, to pinch hit in certain spots, the team is not going to be as good as advertised. And I think that's a great thing to hear from Ken Rosendahl, that the Mets, when this Correa deal gets done, will add some room on the 40-man and also look more on the bench to improve that as well, to have an overall 26-man roster that you can go to war with every single day during a 162 game season. And what I was talking about with what type of contracts we can see with the Mets and what they can give Carlos Correa, I think since the current contract that we know of the 12 years, 315 was a few $1,000,000 under $30 million, I think to soften the blow of the years being less for Carlos Correa, that the AAV will be a little bit higher than the $26.25 million that was going to be for that 12 years, $350 million deal that was agreed upon a couple of weeks ago. I think it's going to look something like this, and you'll see the trend in the 4 different type of contracts that I propose. Here we go right here, guys. So possible contracts: 7-year, 210, 8 years, 240, 9 years, 270, and 10 years, 300. Obviously, each one of these are less than the 12 years, $350 million, but they all have one thing in common, and that is every one of these deals has an AAV, average annual value, of $30 million per year. So you're going to give him a couple of $1,000,000 more to make him feel like he's not really losing in this situation, but obviously cut the years down to either 5 less years, 2 less years, 4 less years, or 3 less years. So it protects the Mets. And the big reason why I think this deal is going to look drastically different with years and money is because I think the Mets are having a hard time getting insurance on that massive 12 years, $350 million. And that's why there's been a lot of waiting with this situation with the contract, along with the holidays. When this deal went down was a few days before Christmas and before the holidays, and a lot of things had to work out its way throughout the holidays. And I do believe that insurance was a hard thing to find for this type of contract because it's so long, because it's so much money. A lot of insurance companies are probably not going to just say, all right, pay the premiums and we're ready to go. I think there was a big thing when it came down to it that the Mets were having a hard time getting any insurance. And I think Boris understands that, and clearly Cohen understands that. And I think that's why they've been so good in the negotiations, keeping them quiet, because they know that it's not necessarily a Mets issue or a Boris issue. It becomes of the protection that a team can get and a player can get. While the player gets played, the team also got to get protected. And that's when insurance comes to be a big part of these contracts. And if you can't insure a contract, there is no team that's going to take that major risk of having a player get injured and they have to spill all the money from their pockets when they can have the insurance pay a percentage of the contract while the team pays the other percentage of the contract. So once again, 7 years, 210, 8 years, 240, 9 years, 270, 10 years, 300 million. All have in common $30 million per year AAV, and I think that's the perfect way a contract can look. It protects the Mets. Less years is always better when it comes to a team, especially in the later years of that contract, where you can say that it's going to look bad with any big contract, and the later years of those contracts usually never turn out very well. So the protection for the team and Correa's protection of getting that extra money per year with getting less years, I think is going to make this contract beneficial for both sides. And that's where I think these guys are right now with the Mets and Correa. And I do believe this deal is going to get done this week. It's going to be official this week. And then we're going to see a press conference of him putting on the orange and blue Mets jersey and getting ready to go at third base, playing at Citi Field alongside his best friend, Francisco Lindor. Once again, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit on that like button. If you enjoy my content, want to see more, want to get notified when I post my videos and when I go live, you guys know what to do. Hit on that subscribe button, everybody. Let me know in the comments, guys, what do you think of those 4 possible contract proposals? Or would you have your own idea of what a contract should look like? And what would you do per year? And also the years and the total contract number. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And let me know if you think any of those that I have are the ones that you thought of as well. Once again, guys, thank you for watching. And as always, Met fans, let's go Mets.